It has now been over 1 year since I picked up this book right here and undertook the challenge contained within to wake up every single morning to perform a set of activities to improve my life. Let's see how I did. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reese, and in today's video, I am recapping the good, the bad, and the ugly of 1 year undertaking the Miracle Morning Challenge. On the 20th of June 2020, I released a video introducing the concept of the Miracle Morning Challenge, which is based on the book right here, written by Elrod. I talked about what the challenge aims to achieve, how it works, some ideas that you could feed into your very own miracle morning, and then I talked about how I was planning to structure mine. And just as a quick recap, my challenge consisted of me waking up 1 hour earlier than I normally would to conduct a series of activities within that time frame. And those activities that I included in my own challenge were sitting in silence for 10 minutes with the option to stretch during that period of time if I wanted to, reading for 15 minutes every single day, or reading at least a minimum of 20 pages every single day, practicing Italian for 15 minutes every single day, and writing for 20 minutes every single day, totaling 1 hour. Now, since my last update, which was 180 days ago at the 180 day mark, I have continued on with my plan to not force myself to get up 1 hour earlier every single day. And that's because at the 180 day mark, I had successfully built the habit to commit and actually complete these tasks every single day without failure. So I wasn't relying on building a routine using that morning slot as the period of time that I needed to do these tasks within. So to keep it simple, I was still carrying out all of the tasks contained within my Miracle Morning Challenge. I just now had the freedom to slot them in at times that might have been more suitable or worked better based on my busy schedule. And just as a bit of context as well, for some of the tasks that I included in my Miracle Morning Challenge, I at first had to really convince myself to commit to do these daily, whereas now some of them are really enjoyable for me. They are things that I look forward to on a daily basis, and I actually would say they make up a bit of the highlights out of my days because they're things that I've really grown to love doing. So with context out of the way, let's recap each activity individually and see how I went over the past 12 months doing them every single day, starting with sitting in silence. This has basically now just become a moment out of my day. I try to find a good opportunity to slot it in where I can just take a breath and have a quick rest if needed. I might be stressed out about something at work. I might have just done a really hard workout and just need to take that moment for myself to decompress, turn off from everything else going on around me. So I just take that 10-minute period and use it in those moments. Now, having done this for over a year, I can confirm that this is a great method to get your headspace back in alignment, get back into your zone so you can focus on whatever task is next on your agenda for any given day. Something that I will definitely continue to do well into the future, I think. Next up is learning Italian. At the time of recording this video right now, it has been 440 days since I began to learn this beautiful language, and I have, for the past 12 months, used that 15-minute window at a minimum to practice every single day. Now, I will admit this, that starting to learn a new language was a very slow process. I was doing some very basic natured learning at the very beginning through the Duolingo app, which is how I decided to make the main focus of learning this language. I used that platform as that assistant or guide to get me into this space, compared to now, where I am now speaking, writing, and translating full sentences, if not small paragraphs, in every exercise I undertake. In the past year, I have gone from barely understanding simple words and phrases to now being able to have a short conversation and hold my own with someone who speaks the language fluently. I can also understand general chit chat, and when I watch things like TV shows and listen to music in the language, I can basically fully understand it now as well, which is a pretty cool thing if I don't say so myself. And since I began learning, my vocabulary has expanded significantly, making it easier and easier every single day that passes to continue learning this language. To be completely honest, I could not encourage it enough for someone who wants to learn maybe a second language or third, fourth, fifth, whatever one you're up to. This method of practicing every single day, keeping it consistent and actually keeping the knowledge and practice and the skills that go into it up to date. It keeps it fresh every single day, and it's only in small doses so you don't get sick and tired of it or frustrated with it too quickly. For me personally anyway, this is what's kept me interested in learning, and it's kept me motivated to keep taking on new challenges with the language in particular. All right, moving on to my favorite activity now, which is something that I never in a million years would have ever thought I would be saying, and that's reading. And I want to put some emphasis on it as well, because for the past 6 months or so, being halfway through now 2022 when I'm recording this video, I have kind of gone all in on fiction novels instead of reading self-help books, and there's a reason to it. I'll talk on it a bit more in this section. Before I continue at all, I want to say that this has become one of my biggest achievements since I started, and it has also become one of my most enjoyable aspects of my day. Across 2021, I read a grand total of 31 books, and I've linked the video, which is up on screen on this side or this side, down in the description below. Feel free to give it a watch after this one. I think you might gain some motivation potentially from watching it and seeing how that journey panned out. Now would be a really good time to quickly hit that like and subscribe button down below as well. I really do appreciate the support. It goes a long way for the channel, and it definitely does not go unnoticed. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to do that. Across those 31 books, I read a total of 9,768 pages. And since then, not only have I continued on with my reading habit, I have also increased the number of pages that I'm reading on a daily basis. So far this year, I have read 4,979 pages, which sees me, when I project it out, I should be on track to beating last year's number of pages read. And for me, that's a good way to track how I'm going, because the books that I'm reading vary in size. I've definitely substituted a lot of the self-help stuff, which I'll talk a bit more about in a second, for more fiction style novels. They're a bit bigger and a little bit more dense. So counting the number of books isn't really a good representation, but pages, it's still pretty relevant if I'm reading a daily basis, X amount of pages. And what I'm on track to do right now is to beat what I basically had read last year. So it's an exciting thing, and I'm sure it will be a really fulfilling achievement when I get there. Now, the reason why I have been focusing on reading more fiction style novels versus self-help books is because I wanted to see how I would feel going a period of time, giving myself every single day a portion of that day to just decompress, immerse myself in a story, enjoy what I'm reading without having to worry about improving myself or doing that self-help mentality style reading. And so far, so good. And when I say so far, so good, I mean, it really has become one of my favorite things to do every single day. I get a lot of fulfillment out of doing it, and it's just a great feeling overall, being able to decompress from the stresses of my life by just basically getting lost in a story for a period of my day. Overall, reading is something that I truly do believe should be incorporated into every single person's life. I know not everyone is going to be a speed reader, but it is something that they should do every single day at their own capacity. Finally, let's touch on writing. I've essentially written all of the words that I wanted to go into the book that I have been putting together. I have also structured it in the way that I think would be best as a long-term read, something that someone could pick up and enjoy every single chapter contained within. And in my opinion, I can truly say at this point in time, I have finished this aspect of the Miracle Morning Challenge. I used consistency as a tool to chip away at writing this every single day, even on the days where I had, we'll call it writer's block, where I didn't really want to put the words onto the paper, but I did it, and I got to this point now where I'm really happy with the result, and it showed me that being consistent really can help produce something that is actually tangible. For the time being, I'm probably going to keep this project to myself, as there will probably be more to add as my life goes on, and I will probably release it in the future if there is enough interest when the time is right. For now, I'm really happy with some of the words that I got to put on paper, because it helped me recollect some stories that I had forgotten. It really put some things into perspective, things that were important that I learned when I was growing up, and it really showed me how these events as part of my previous life, my younger years, have basically brought me into the world of who I am today, what I stand for, what I believe in, and what I use to continue moving forward every single day. That's the reflection of this book, and something that I really enjoyed putting together. So since I started this challenge, I have added a new set of activities to my daily life that have not only brought me a lot of joy, but have also given me a lot of value. The routine and times that I actually complete these tasks and activities throughout my day have shifted ever so slightly from the original model of being 1 hour earlier than when I usually would wake up, but they are now incorporated incorporated into my daily life in a way that really cozies in and makes them a lot of fun to do versus them feeling like a chore. And over the past 12 months, I've really learned what I enjoy getting out of performing these activities, not only from the perspective of progression. Progression is the word that I'm going to use there. It's a really good word to slot in, but also I've just found new hobbies and things that I actually enjoy doing that I never in a million years thought I would enjoy. Like, I have to put some emphasis on it. I hated reading. I could not stand doing it. And now it's seriously one of my favorite things to do every single day. And ultimately, I have loved taking on this challenge. It gave me structure in the very beginning where I wanted to try something new and didn't know how to approach it, to the point right now where we are 12 months later, where they are now, each and every one of them, part of my daily life. This now concludes the video series that I have made on the Miracle Morning Challenge. If you've been watching since the very beginning, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch these videos. I've made about 5 on the topic at random intervals leading up to the 12-month mark. And if you haven't seen them, definitely go back and give them a watch. You might really enjoy them. There is a playlist on the channel, on the about page, on the videos page, on the playlist page somewhere. I'm pretty sure it'll be easy to find, where you can see what my thoughts were, how I felt going into these stages, being the 30-day mark, the 90-day mark, the 180-day mark, and so on. And I'd be really curious to actually go back myself and watch them and compare to how I'm feeling right now. Overall, it really, truly was something that I got a lot of value out of doing, something that I will continue to incorporate into my life in a certain capacity, being the activities. And who knows, I might take on a new one with new activities at some point when I'm not so time poor. Time will tell. For now, that's where I'm pretty much going to leave you there. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed this series, and I hope you take on your own challenge of your own, because this book here, it definitely made some big impacts on my life. And that's pretty much it. I hope you have a good day, have a good week, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.